Very good morning to all of you, and it's nice to be back after a few days, and just want to once again have a little bit of a recap, and repetition is always a good thing. It keeps things fresh in our minds, especially when it comes to the things of God, the plan of God concerning the salvation that He wrought so personally for every single one of us individually. And that's important to realize. We may not be able to comprehend it, but God is God, and He alone can do this. And what He did on the cross for both you and me is the greatest historic event that this world has ever known and seen, and nothing like it will ever happen again. Nothing preceded it, and nothing will supersede it. So God bless you this morning. And we keep asking people generally, when it comes to that word sin, what do you think of when you think of sin? What does it mean? And a lot of people, and very naturally, that's not a wrong answer, they refer to things that we do that could be morally wrongful, and that is a sin. And they're not wrong. But let's come down to the biblical definition of sin. Biblically, sin is a condition. It is a nature. And it is an inherent nature that we are born with, and this is what the Bible, especially to the book of Romans, to the Apostle Paul, who tells us all these things as part of God's mystery plan, explains what exactly is sin. Jesus Christ, during His earthly ministry, one boy never spoke much about sin. He touched on the subject, but He left the details for a later date, because the belief system before He went to the cross was different. The message was different. So He never touched on that, and then He revealed it to the Apostle Paul to tell us what it's really all about. So when we come to this word sin, it's an inherent sin nature. Come on, boy, come on. That all of us are born with. And the reason is because it goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden, where Adam and his wife disobeyed an instruction that God gave him, and He warned them. He says, do not eat of this tree, whether symbolic or real, it makes no difference. The fact is, they disobeyed in order of their own free will. And the warning was, if you eat, death will enter. And death entered because of sin. And with it will come a separation from God. So, and of course, God came back with a plan of redemption and Adam fell. But the fact is that sin nature, He got that sin nature, and right down to this day, every human being is born with that sin nature. So it's a spiritual condition, unseen spiritual condition. And so when we come to the word sin, always remember, from a biblical point of view, as far as the scriptures are concerned, which explains us that sin is a nature, it's our spiritual condition, it's highly cancerous, spreads like crazy, and there is no remedy for it as far as man is concerned. And because of that inherent sin nature, we commit what we may call acts of sin. We mentioned this so often, we mentioned it again today. Nobody ever taught you and me to be jealous, to get angry, to lie, or to steal, no matter how big or small, get envious, and so many other things. Nobody ever taught us that. We do it without being taught, because something is there in us that makes us do these things. And that is what the Bible refers to as sin, or the sin nature or is sometimes referred to as the old man, or sometimes referred to as the old Adam. They all mean the same thing. And it is for this to be redeemed from that sin nature and pay the price for all it has made us do. And that price can only be paid by the shedding of divine blood. The shedding of blood is something that scarlet thread that runs all the way through Scripture, right from Genesis to Revelation. It can never be ruled out. It may have come in symbolic form before the cross, but now after the cross, there is no symbolism anymore. We are in it. We are the product of the reality of what took place. So redemption comes through the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The Scripture tells us that there's not a thing that we can do about it, and Christ alone has paid that sin debt for us. And all we are asked to do is to believe it. And let's be very clear. In this age of grace, God is not going to prove anything to us through signs, wonders, or miracles, which can unfortunately much of Christendom constantly promotes. God says it must be by faith and faith alone. Remember, there are no works involved, we cannot earn it, and that is so wonderful because it takes the pressure off us. We have to do nothing to please God because we can't do it in the flesh. So God says, just trust what I have done for you, and we'll take it literally one day at a time, and let the salvation work in your lives. But the moment we believe, we are totally forgiven, we are justified, which means we are judicially acquitted from all our deeds of sin or acts of sin, past, present, and future. And God sees us through every day, through every situation, and heaven is eternally ours. Remember, this salvation is a free gift. It can never be earned, and that's what religion does. Religion always tries to earn things, and it is not acceptable to God, and that is why God himself nailed religion in every shape and form on the cross and said, that's it, my work is sufficient. The only question is, do we believe that or we don't? That choice is ours. So God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful day.